Good morning, everyone. My name is Amit Parikh, and I head marketing for GenRPT. With me, I have our founder and CEO, Mr. Vishnu Srivastava.
Hi.
All right, then. Looks like the room is already warmed up from the wonderful demo that happened before us, and we'd love to keep the energy going. So let's dig straight in. Uh, Picture this. You're in a critical meeting with your board, and someone asks, how are our loans performing across different regions, and where are we seeing the highest default rates? Now, I understand a lot of you in this room might not even need a spreadsheet to answer that question. But for the rest of us, for your teams, it's not always that easy. Uh, Now, you need these answers fast, but they might be buried under complex databases, spreadsheets, reports. It's like a boring movie you watched before. It seems like an uphill battle. It's frustrating. You might even have to jump through certain hoops to get these answers. But now, you have a tool that can answer these questions in seconds, that can transform this data, complex data, into actionable insights within seconds. I'm talking about our tool, GenRPT, and that's exactly what we're going to demo to you today. So for the sake of time today, we are already connected to a live SQL database with loan data from a lending entity. But don't worry, what we're going to do is, for context, we're going to walk you through the database tables briefly that we're working with, so you know when we're running the actual questions on the data, what data we are working with. I'll hand it over to Vishruth to do the walkthrough. Over to you, Vish.
Thanks, Amit. So I'll just switch to the database. Whoa, that seems overwhelming, doesn't it? But nothing to worry. This is exactly what GenRPT will shield you from. I'll just walk you through the tables that have the data, and then we'll switch back to the demo. So there's data on the loans in the loans table. There's data on their performance. There's data on the borrowers. There's other tables with credit information. Over to you, Amit.
Great. Now that we have some context in terms of the data that we're working with, and I agree with Vish, it's very overwhelming. I personally find it very boring. But we'll jump to the fun part now, which is actually trying to talk to this data, running queries over this data. Uh, Deliberately, we've kept the first question fairly simple for everybody to get the hang of the system, how the model works. As you can see, the first question is, what is the average loan amount? What is the average amount of loans with a term of 36 months? We've already got the answer while I was speaking within seconds. The answer is pretty precise, precise to the decimal point. You don't have to do any guesswork here. Now that you know you have the hang of how the system works, it's a very simple conversational question and answer model. For the next question, we make it a little more complicated. We add more layers here. So you see there's loan amounts in this question. There's the different grades, A through G. There is the term of the loans, and there is interest rate. So there are certain elements, a lot of criteria that's going on in this question, where you don't need to worry about it. GenRPT did the heavy lifting for you, and it not only interpreted and answered the question, it visualized the question for you. As you can see on screen, it's interpreted and visualized this as a bar graph. Vishruth is hovering over this. It's completely interactive. You can see the different data points. You can see spot early trends and patterns. But now, this is what the system thought that is the best way to represent this data. In case you want to visualize it in a different way, like a line graph or a pie chart, you can simply ask, like in a very conversational way. As you can see here, Vishruth has simply asked a follow-up question, is plotted as a pie chart. Pie charts are also like easy to digest information. You just like pie charts. You're weird if you do that, but it's fine. We are open. So as you can see here, if you can hover over this, this is colorful. You can see the different chunks of data, different chunks of different grade loans here as well. And similarly, you can keep asking follow-up questions to visualize it differently or another follow-up question. Now that we know broadly how the question and answer model works, we saw the complex data, and now we are breaking it down. Let's switch gears here a little bit. We understand that you don't always have the luxury to access a laptop, or you're probably on the move, running late for a meeting, catching a flight, or you're in an Uber or on the subway. You still need access to this data. What we're going to demonstrate now is how GenRPT Mobile is just as efficient as the desktop system that we saw. You can ask similar questions here as long as you're connected to your database. You don't need to, we all know how difficult it is to open a database on a phone. I'll hand it over to Vish to demonstrate through the voice to text feature how the mobile version works. Over to you, Vish.
Thanks, Amit. So I'm going to ask a question. What are the top 5 states by the number of loans?
Okay.
Okay. So this is very useful when I'm on the go, say in a taxi or on a flight to a meeting, and I need instant answers. So as you see, I just asked. I didn't type anything. And within seconds, I'll get a response uh, with the states with the highest lending activity. Yeah, Amit.
As you can see, you get a very similar performance on a mobile device as well. And imagine being able to pull up these kind of insights from the data that we showed you on the palm of your hand. We all know how difficult it is to look at a spreadsheet on a mobile device. We've all tried to open an Excel sheet on a mobile. It's very difficult to filter through it. You can do it on your phone. Now that we know how the system works, we're approaching the end of our technical demo. And that brings me to a very important question, which is why GenRPT and why now? Um, we strongly believe that having quicker insights means you're able to take smarter decisions. And it's not just about speed. It's about efficiency. It's about clarity. It's about breaking through the clutter of really manual and slow processes. And the most important thing, the cost of inaction, because you're not able to access your data, can be far greater than the cost of investment in a tool like GenRPT. Today, we barely scratched the surface in terms of what GenRPT can do. We've only showed you what it can do with SQL databases. It can efficiently handle large repositories of unstructured data, like PDFs. It can handle Excel sheets with the exact same ease. And we'd love to continue this conversation with you, show you how GenRPT works and how it can change things at your organization. We'd love to see you at our demo stand. We're here for a couple of days. We're free to meet for a coffee. Thank you for your time today. We had a lovely time. We hope to see you all soon. Thank you so much.